places. All right, we're getting all pulled up. Greetings. We are going to write and record a song yet again, because it's January. Write and record a song every day. And just getting some stuff pulled up here. But otherwise, we're going to get rolling ASAP. Okay, we're pulling that up. New channel. Pull up the live. Okay, we're pulling that up. Mute the live. Channel. Pull up the live. Okay, we're pulling that up. Mute the live. Channel. Pull up the live. Do the thing here. Come on, there you go. Yeah, don't need that. Muted. View channel. And we're live here. Muted. View channel. Let's pull up the chat. And YouTube. We're live here. And then we'll get rolling. Channels. Pull up the chat. And plan is the same as it's been since January 1st of 2019. Write and record a song every day in the month of January. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Here's the chats are all set up now. Okay, cool. We've got time to get a random word. What's our random word? Random word is definition. I like that one. Definition has some possibilities. We're going into the song fight archive with definition, and there's no definition. There are no song titles with the word definition. On we go. We're generating another random word. Keep. There has to be song titles with the word keep in them. Keep all your promises. Well, that like writing and recording a song a day. Sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. Boy, that's one I might be able to work with. We keep them alive. I've written a song with that one. Keep in touch. Sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. I really like that as a title, actually. I think we're going to make that. That's going to be the one. And I realize I have to change this. It's not day 7 anymore. It's day 8. And the title's not Glass Eye. Sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. That's a long title. All right, cool. So, song title has been picked, and now it's going to be a matter of pulling up the DAW and starting the writing on guitar, maybe bass. I don't think I'll do drums first, and I'm still keeping it to drums, guitar, and bass right now. That's the plan. So let us see what happens here. But sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving is the song title we're going to work with. And let's take a look here. All right. Open recent set. This is the boring part. Some might say the whole thing's boring, but I feel like I want to go with bass tonight first. I may even throw like a little bit of a filter or something on it too. There we go. All right, open recent set. We've got that. We want to save this. Then we can get underway. 2026. The title again. I think I can copy and paste it here. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. I really like that as a title, actually. And this is no 08. All right, sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. I might use the low notes tonight too. I don't often use that, and I'm definitely not going to put that much distortion on the bass. I'll tell you that right now. But I might use something with that. Okay. I think I want to have it be like mid-tempo, 115 maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I don't hate that. 115 might be a good choice. But I will say, with writing and recording a song every day in the month of January, since 2019, writer's block is when you don't know what to do next, so you just have to pick something and make it happen. So, actually, before I go too much further, let's throw a little distortion, a little something on the bass here. That is something I am going to do, I think. May or may not be a fuzz. Ooh, okay, that one's called the Mud Honey. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, something like that. Although I'm going to probably need to drop the gain a little bit if I'm going to go that route. All right. Might be good, like a. Okay, that be. Okay. That's a keeper. So let's stick with that. I don't know. That could be the chorus and it could be the verse. Could be the chorus, could be the verse. Hello. I am writing and recording a song, as I do every day in January since 2019. So I think that makes this something like day 225 of writing and recording a song every day in January, each year since 2019. I'm actually going to break out the calculator to see if where we're at. What date is it? 31 days times 7 years was 217. This is day 8. So, yeah, this will be song 225. All right. So, I like that. So, let's keep it. I feel like that has potential as a verse, and it has potential as a chorus too. Don't know what the song's about yet. I've just started. All I know is it's day 8, and that I'm writing and recording a song a day. It normally takes me anywhere between 2 to 4 hours from start to finish. I live stream myself doing so. And the title is going to be Sometimes It's Hard to Keep Yourself Moving, which I found by getting a random word from a random word generator and then taking that random word to the website songfi.org, where they have like over 1,000 song titles. And I found one that had today's word, and I think it was, which word was it? Keep. I think keep was the word. And so, yeah, appreciate it. Oh yeah. Hey there, Jay. Yeah, no, I'm keeping at it. Okay, and I know how that goes, and where I want to go with it from there is the question. And then where from there? Okay. I know. Where do I want to go from there, though? It's going to be... And then I have to be able to remember this later. That's the other problem with that. Is... maybe that. I like that, actually. Oh, yeah. Yes. That's a keeper. Let's do that. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the first time, second time. Okay, yeah, that's a keeper. That's a keeper. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, and we get. Oh yeah, forgot to do the thing. Oh, and I forgot to do it again. Okay. Then you got to do it right. 2, 3. We got. There it is. That's a pre-chorus for sure, I think. I think that's the verse. No, I think that may be the chorus, actually. I like that as a chorus. I do like that as a chorus. Maybe a little earlier tonight, yeah. Can maybe on one of my other streams when I'm doing requests right now, I'm writing and recording a song. So no, I cannot. No requests this evening because I'm not playing covers. I'm writing songs. Okay, so I like that. I may want to keep the verses a little more sparse. Okay, that might be. It might be something as simple as. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. So. Okay, like let's do that. Let's do that. No, right idea. Okay, yeah, let's do that. I could hear that being a verse. And yeah, that's good. Yeah, that really works as a chorus at that point. Greetings. It is going well. This is day 8 of a thing called Jamuary. I write and record a song every day in the month of January. Been doing it since 2019. But only in the month of January, so we're over 200 songs at this point from January. They are not all winners, but you get through it. Sometimes it's better than others. Okay, so that's my chorus. I gotta think about where I want to go from there for the bridge section right there. And it's yeah, it might be something simple like that. Oh no. That's just it's a songwriting challenge that I do specifically in January, where it's just since 2019. This was started by a gentleman that's been writing and recording a song a day for over 5,000 days for like well over a decade at this point. I can't remember where he's even at. Jonathan Mann started this in January of 2019, so that was the first year that I did it. And so it's really just this songwriting challenge of like really it's set aside time to write a song and then write a song, and the way that you write that song is one step at a time. And I had someone even asking me like, do you ever get writer's block on it? I don't. And the reason is you don't have time to get precious about how the song's going to come out. You set aside the time to write it and you write it. They're not all going to be gems, but you push through, you persevere with it, and it becomes what it is. Some of them are not that great. It's not really timed, and honestly, it is something There is nothing that says that it has to be a fully produced song, but everything that I've personally done since 2019 has been a fully produced song. Um, I've kept myself accountable with that. I have live streamed the creation of every one of the songs as well. Um, None of those are stipulations. If you follow Jamuary, you could just write a song whenever. But my thought with it was just like, yeah, let's hold myself accountable, I guess, in that regard. And so I live streamed on day one and showed every step of the process from start to finish. And I discovered that a song would take me anywhere between 2 to 4 hours to complete from start to finish. And if I look back at the live streams, I can even see, oh, the lyrics almost always take the longest. But like the bass takes such and such on, like bass normally takes this long, drums take this long, guitar takes this long, keyboard takes this long. And you just, yeah, you roll with it. And it's funny that you would think that the days that are going to be terrible are where you start, like I'll be starting the live stream saying, I do not feel like making a song today. And immediately you think, well, then you probably shouldn't, right? Some of those days where I didn't feel like doing anything became some of the best songs that I did that month. It's not always, but sometimes you set aside that time, you don't feel like doing it, you push through it, and it becomes one of the best songs that you did that month, and that ends up on my June album. I put out a June album I don't know if I'm going to do it this year or not, but we'll see. Every year since 2013, I've released an album in June, and I normally do on April 1st as well. Like I'll put silly, ridiculous ideas out on April 1st as well. And yeah. Oh yeah, and I have Tiston over here saying, since last Jamuary, you inspired me to try drawing every day for a month, and it's accidentally lasted way more. LOL. That's fantastic. And funnily enough, what you say about writer's block also applies to artist blocks, in my opinion. Well, that's very nice. No. Yeah, the best ideas are the ones that become their own. Yeah, exactly. I would agree with you on that. Anyway, where I'm at now, I am now 22 minutes into it, and I have most of a structure figured out on bass anyway. So then it'll be adding drums and like going from there. But I think I have 3 ideas here that are just going to be sandwiched into the song structure. I've got what should be the verses, the pre-chorus, and the chorus. I want to do something for after chorus 2. This is the chorus, and I think I'm going to keep it really simple for it. Let's see. I might do that just like yeah, that's super simple, but I like it, and it's just like a ascending thing there. And then it would go back into that. I think that might work. Okay, I think that might work. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is go into this. Sorry that you on TikTok you can't even see the DAW, and it's funny because TikTok's been kind of dead with this, and just like requests for like song covers and stuff, to the point where I was like, I may not even do TikTok tonight. So y'all are saving this where I may actually keep doing that. A lot of comments about looking like Jack Black and Neil Young because of the sideburns. That's a lot of what I've gotten on the TikTok end. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit record. And then I think I may need an intro. Okay, you know what? But that serves as a decent intro. That's the verse. Yeah, okay. I could hear the guitar coming in there. Drums. Now the verse starts. Hey, no, ultimately, there's enough people saying it. There's a gem of truth there, and I think it's mostly these. I think you get rid of the chops, and it's not as much of a thing. I guess there's the long hair though too. Okay, this is the pre-chorus. Okay, and this will be the chorus. Enter Sandman is a song, but I'm not doing covers. I'm writing a song right now, as I do every day in January since 2019. Verse. Okay, I think this is gonna work. And pre-chorus. There might be some funk style, like I might be playing some ninth chords over portions of this. I think that might fit the song pretty well, actually. And here comes our chorus. Thing is, I'm not a virtuoso on any instrument, but I get by on a number of instruments, enough to like throw together some demo stuff. Okay, here's our break section. Second time through. All right. That's next and final chorus here. Yeah, and I'll just end it on that. And I think, yeah, that comes out to about 2 minutes 50 seconds, which is where I've been hovering with most of the songs this year. Yeah, by the end of the month, I'll recite. He's writing a song every day for the month of January. He's been doing it since 2019. He's written hundreds of songs. Exactly. You get people coming in that haven't heard about all of this there. Wow. Roses. Thank you. I appreciate that. Gifts. Crap. All right. Might play requests in future videos, but this won't be one of them, unfortunately. So, this is all about writing a song tonight. All right. Having said that, it is time to probably switch over to the drum set. So let's take you over to that. And there's the drum set. Give me a moment here. I'm going to get set up. It's not going to be a super fancy drum part because I'm not a super fancy drummer. I'm not a particularly good drummer, but I get by. All right, so let's see what I can do here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well. Something went wrong. And I see what it is. I'm recording over what I did instead of actually recording what I'm supposed to be. So let's not do that. Let's record actual drums here. 2, 4, 2, 3, 4. Oh, shit. All right. All the things that I think that are already set up and they're not. 4 bar. 1. 2, 3. Yeah. Well, that's not going to work either. All right. Oh, you know what? Yeah. That's okay. All right. I actually don't want to start playing on the first measure. So I can take my time a little more getting to the kit. One of the sections was a bit rough, but I'll contend with that. That's not the worst. Thanks. Yeah, no, I'm ultimately not a particularly good drummer, but again, I get by. It's probably my least good instrument. So my technique is not great. But it was enough to do the job. I may keep the bass where I would normally, because I put it together in pieces, I'll often, thus far, every day this month, what I will end up doing is replaying the bass to where it's like more locked in with the drums, but I think that didn't sound bad. Where it was done in pieces, and then I can move on to the guitar parts a little more quick too. All right. I think guitar one I might may or may not kind of mimic that. Let's see what we got. And maybe the other guitar actually. Nah, I think we want this one. right in tune. The A would be good there. That could sound good. And it may sound like crap too, but like we're gonna try it out. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't hate that. And what do I want to do here? That either, but okay, we have at least one vote of approval there. Instead of going, I go, I like that change. And this is just guitar one. I'll almost definitely throw a second guitar on it too. No, I'm definitely going to do something different there. Yeah. do that. Oh, yeah. Okay, first of all, we want to go back to only one bar, and I think we want to start with just the bass. Nothing else. Yeah, there might be a solo in there. I'm not a particularly, like, wild, like, good soloist, but I get by again. I may even actually wait to come in with the guitar, and I think I'm going to. So it's bass on the first one, bass on the first go around, bass and drums the second go through, and then the guitar joins at the beginning of the verse. So that means this is bass only. There you go. One note with some grit. You get it. You get it. Boom. Ooh, or single note. Single note. Single note. That'll be my compromise there. Single note right here. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Do better, but just the bass, just the bass. And then the drums come in with that's the second chord. Gotta start with that D chord. All right. And we're still coming through a little light. So let's up the input a bit. Bass by itself. And 2, 3, and we get. Up, but I'm gonna practice here. Yeah, okay, I can do that. Just gotta do it right now. Bass, da da da. And then guitar comes here. I'm doing here because I haven't practiced and figured anything out there. I'm not going to be playing any requests this evening. Sorry. I'm writing and recording a song, which is what I do every night in January since 2019. So no requests, no covers, because it's all original. You are watching the process and creation of an original song that is being written from start to finish. No covers. Not tonight. So now I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do here, though, because this will be a punch-in. I'm happy with everything that I did up through that point. Okay, and then it would go back into the... Got it. Back into the chorus. Yeah, that'll work. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna tackle this. Palm mutes. Yeah, let's palm mute that area. That's even better to do. I think there's going to be a one-note solo over this progression. Can I play? I don't even know what 115 is, but if it's a cover, no. I'm not playing any covers this evening. I'm writing and recording a song. Writing and recording a song as I do every month, every January, every year. Yeah, I like that better though. I think that's going to sound really good. Yeah, I like that. All right, so let's get a good punch-in moment, which looks like it's right there. Yeah, you can't even hear the punch-in. That's beautiful. That's what we want. All right, now I got to come up with a complementary second guitar part that sounds good with the first one. That's nice, actually. I may have just accidentally walked into that. That's nice. I like that. I cannot do Master of Puppets, even on a night when I'm actually doing covers. I'm writing and recording a song. All right. No, I'm still going to figure out what I'm going to do here, then. So. I kind of want to record that part, even though I don't know what I'm going to do with it for the rest of this, because I'm afraid I'm going to lose that, and I really like it. I really, really like that to the point where I am seriously afraid I'll lose it because I'll forget how I did it. So, from there I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Yeah. See, tuning noise, you're not wrong, but... I think there's something cooler that I can do. Yeah. I think that's a good start. Nirvana song or any grunge song? Yes. On a night when I'm playing covers. I'm writing and recording an original song tonight. I'm going to say that 1,000 times before this stream is over. It's an original. Writing a song. You're seeing a song being created. If you're interested in that. No worries, man. No worries. I get it. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do. But on a normal night when I'm playing requests, yes, I can absolutely do some Nirvana. That is something I would normally do. Maybe check back on a night when I'm playing covers. Block. Block. Especially funny because when that stuff was going down, I was not even of age. So if I was on that island, it would have been as a victim. I get by. I'm not great. I like that. I like that. I think that'll be what I do here. Okay, with... That might be nice for a better chord there. It's basic, but I like it. I like that. I don't think that'll match as much as I'd like it to. I don't hate that, actually. It's a little too discordant, though, I think. I want something similarly... I like that a lot. I like that. That's good. That might work if I keep the high note. If I keep the high note in that. Yes! That's what I needed to do right there. Do the last chord on an 8th note early. Oh, yeah, well, and actually even I could get by probably... I could probably get by. I could even come in late. If I go like... I have to prove that I'm... Yeah. Yeah, I can see where that might actually work well. want to do right there. I can dig that. Okay, so now I gotta start recording some of this before I forget how I did it. I'm going to forget how some of this goes if I don't start nailing it down. Yeah, already did. Okay, let's do it right though. Do this right. That whole thing. And I would have forgotten how that went, so I'm really glad that I recorded that when I did, because I would have forgot it. Let's do that. Okay, then I gotta go back to the other thing. Okay, that would be. And I'll mix it to where that the funky thing will end up being. It'll be more front and center when I'm done with that. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, Tistin over on YouTube saying this stream is really helping with the headache that this computer I'm dealing with right now. Oh yeah, that's never fun. And good luck with that. I realized I was doing the so it's also kind of a connected riff in a way. Okay, I forgot what I was doing there, and I think that one I'm just going to double up. Oh yeah, that's right, and it's that version of the chord. Okay, got it. Okay. All right, we're getting there. that's nice at the end. Yeah. That's going to come out in the mix where it'll sound better, but now I'm going to throw that one note. Well, it's probably not going to be a one note solo, but I'm going to throw a little solo over that. Let's make that a little bit of a better punch in. That's not a terrible punch in, but can we do better? Let's try that. Yeah, I can't even tell that one. So let's see what moves me on a little solo there. And it'll be nice because then I won't have to write lyrics for that spot either. And lyrics take me the longest. What song is that? I'm literally writing the song right now. It's exactly right. Thank you for Bartholomew J. I love the name. Kuma. Makes me think of Tekken. The bear, Kuma. No relation, I presume. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm literally, every day in January I write and record a song. And I've been doing that since 2019. Let's find a better sounding amp that's going to cut through. I love the sound of that amp, but if I play another solo in that, it's not going to cut through very much. I actually like the dual, let's go with triple rectifier tonight. And let's figure out something that'll work over that section. Yes, I am on Spotify, but not all of my stuff. Bandcamp has more of my stuff. I used to have everything on Spotify, but then DistroKid was terrible, and so I allowed... My thoughts on mariachi bands are great. I'm certainly not going to be able to play anything that they do, but I like them. I could try to write a song in a mariachi style, but it would not come together well, I'm sure. I like that a lot, actually. I think I'm going to keep it really simple like that, too. I might switch it up the second time through. Very close, though. Yeah, I think that was it. you may be on. I think you may be onto something with the hammer-ons. Let's try that again, though. Where do I want to throw them in is the question. I think I want something a little more spacey too. I may throw like an effect on it or turn the gain up even more. We're getting weird. Let's purposely throw on something really odd. That's a little too much. That's a little too much. That's just a distortion one. Let's see this envelope filter maybe. Take that one out of the. Yeah, remove that one. First two notes, hammer on and slide up, quite possibly. Let's see what I got though. Okay, that I like too. I think we're gonna try a thing at that. Really like it up to that point of the. That's, yeah, more comfortable position for that last bit. I like that actually. I think that is my winner. I am getting more people on TikTok tonight. Yeah, there it I like that. I like that. So that's going to be my winner. I think the music's done. Now it's going to be a matter of writing the lyrics and going from there. Yeah, old business laptops would suck for installing new stuff because of administrative passwords. I imagine Linux stuff, you know how it is. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. I imagine that's not an easy task whatsoever out of just being like, we're starting over. But even then with starting over on that, if you don't have the passwords to that and they have it like, that could be a problem. That could be a big problem. All right, here we go. We are going to take that, save it, and export. We're going to go into ye old Adobe Audition 3 for the main mixdowns and such. And here we go. Exporting it. So now I have drums, bass, guitar. It is time to write some lyrics, sing some vocals. Thankfully, I've already got my song title, which is sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. Amen to that. So let's write that down. And classic ye old pen and paper here. Sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. It's a long song title. Hard. Not the longest, but a long one nonetheless. And this is 1/8/26. Circle January. We will circle 8. And then we're going to get this figured out. How do you feel about shouting random family anecdotes? Because dispute type shit. That could work. That could work. All right, let's see what we got here. Besides the fact that it is 7:53 here, what are we looking at time-wise? It feels like it's taken a while, but not too bad. Hour 20. Hour 20 from where I'm at. I am not mad at it. Oh, and that's just saying it's the company my dad works for. It was bought out. That's why I have it, but that means I can't even ask what the password even is now. Is there no way to end up bypassing that some way? Like, I'm not so familiar with it that I will say the IT style stuff that I know. One of my buddies works in IT and has talked about, he knows a fair amount, but he's like, dude, I wouldn't even have a job if it wasn't for Google, because so much of my job just involves looking up solutions that smarter people than me came up with. And ain't that the truth? I think part of it is just being smart enough to know what to search for on Google. Cream Puff Factory tour didn't even get a single puff. I like that. I like that. All right. Oh yeah, and I got if there's anything going on the Facebook side, I'm not seeing it. So, all right, but here we go. Let's put. Wow, such a long title that even like putting things in their proper spot is difficult. There's the bass. There's guitar 1. There's guitar 2. There's a kick. There's a room. There's a solo. I forgot that I got that in there too, so I got to make a spot for that. But I can do that. That's not difficult. All right, so now this should be at least close to sounding decent. Let's pull the snare up by about 4, room up by about 5. Yeah. Verse 1. Then we got a pre-chorus and a chorus. And then a pre-chorus number 2. And mercifully, I made it easy on myself by not even having to write lyrics for a break section after chorus 2, because that's where the solo went. on the chorus then, because that means I don't have to worry about a break section. It means I got 2 verses, a pre-chorus, and a chorus, and the pre-chorus may repeat. Chorus just about wrote itself. Whew, all right. I think it's going to be Cakes down narration of my late grandmother's funeral. I'm the only one here, but I think that's the fun. I can see a little dark sense of humor, but I can get with it. Okay, and sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. Okay, that's 10 syllables. Sometimes. That's going to be high for me to sing, but I think it'll sound cool, so I'm going to do it. It's okay. I think that's going to be good. I think that's going to be good. All right, here we go. We're turning down the music so it doesn't bleed into the vocal mic. Here we go. And this may sound terrible. I may be trying to do a chorus that's outside of my range. Let's find out. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. Let's hear how that sounds. I may double it up. What I am doing. And sometimes. Yeah, that sounds good with the harmony vocal. Let's do a harmony vocal. Let's do the harmony vocal on that. I think that'll be good. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. Oh, that's a screw up. But I like it. That guitar's not supposed to cut out, but I like what happened on accident there. Yeah, I may keep that instead of fixing it. That's fun. That's a fun accident. That's what that is. All right. So let me knock out all the high chorus lead vocals here. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. Yeah, I put a little more emphasis in that. enough where I think I can do the first one better, so I'm going to redo that first one. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. I think that has a little more grit, and I think that's good. Yeah, that sounds better, I think. So here's what that sounds like with the music. I don't know. I may go back and fix that. Although it cuts off at such a good spot that I kind of... Oh, and it fits into the narrative on accident, too. Hard to keep yourself moving. And then it cuts off. Like, I can't go on. The guitar is like, I can't go on. But then it comes back. Okay. Beautiful accident. I'm keeping it. All right. That'll be a thing that I'll recognize as a happy accident. I've had those happen before, though, too. There's a song I wrote and recorded called Failure is Always an Option, and the guitar cable failed in the middle of playing it, but it's in the recording. I have attempted to re-record that, and it never sounded as cool, so I put it out with the version where the cable's cutting out, which just accidentally adds to the narrative of the song. This feels like that. Boom. All right, so let's do this. It'll be a double course. Okay, I gotta know when to come in, though. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. I like this one. I think this might be a decent keeper of a song. This might be one of my favorites of the month thus far. All right, let's see what happens here. Harmony vocal next. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. Okay, and then two more times on that. Hear me out. What about backing vocals repeating sometimes? Okay, I might take that, Tiston. That's not a bad call. That might work, especially on the final chorus. That might work. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. And I think on the final chorus, I may also... Sometimes... That's really high. I wonder what I am doing. Like I have to go falsetto to hit those notes. I'll take that. System of a Down is... I do like System of a Down, so... Sometimes I wonder what I am doing. Sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. Sometimes I wonder what I am doing. Sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving. That sounded ridiculous by itself, I bet. But let's hear the acapella by themselves, just the harmony vocals here.
And sometimes I wonder what I am doing. And sometimes it's hard to keep yourself moving.
And now with music. Damn it, I think I hear what you mean too, Tiston. Sometimes, or maybe like sometimes, yeah, damn it, I like that. I'm gonna have to do it now. And I think we're gonna triple that harmony here. So end Vox 1, end Vox 2. I was about to offer to help on some high vocals, but I did. Well, thank you, Rach. Appreciate that. That's my wife. She's wonderful. All right. So let's do that first one. Sometimes, 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 sometimes. So let's do a harmony on that. Sometimes, sometimes, sometimes. I need to hear it when I'm doing them. And it's not coming through like it should. And it's just on the last part. So let's try that here. Sometimes, some is my first opening note. Sometimes, 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 sometimes. There it is. Yeah, no, I agree. She is an exceptional vocalist too, so like I've done acoustic shows with Rach. She's written songs with me. She's a badass. Sometimes, 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 sometimes. Sometimes. Oh, I'm just sometimes. I'm realizing that last one is not sometimes, sometimes. I need to do that because that'll sound that's because the other one was just a mirror, it's an octave. Sometimes, sometimes. That's where I need to go. Sometimes, 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 sometimes. We cracked, but sometimes, 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 sometimes. Sometimes I may keep that even though I cracked. Let's hear how that sounds a cappella. My voice cracked, but it may actually sound cool.
Sometimes, 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 sometimes.
Like, it's a little sharp, but I like the emotion. Yeah, I like the emotion, so we're going to keep it, even though it's a little off. All right, let's go 40%. So we get this. Yeah, that's cool. And I think I heard like a mouse click or something that I'm going to want to get rid of. But other than that, this is coming together cool. I just got to make sure I don't ruin it with the verses. Yeah, I can hear the click, and we're going to get rid of that. Yep, there we go. It's gone. All right, now I got to write the rest of the damn song. I got the chorus. We got the verse and pre-chorus is all I need now, though. 2 verses and a pre-chorus. Something sounded wrong. It may work, but I think I've got something that'll, like, I'm going to fill it in with something that complements it. It's not going to be like a lot of lyrics. I'm going to keep it very sparse. Because I do think, like, structurally for the song, that it will strengthen the chorus if I have a messaging that leads into the chorus that, like, strengthens that as a mission statement, basically. Like, wonder what I'm doing, like, in what way? Like, I'm building to that. Yeah, this is gonna strengthen that. It's gonna strengthen that good. Okay. Okay, we got this. We got this. That's gonna be good. I think. And especially where like the tone it's a little more like the chorus lashes out, so it's kind of pulled back before that, and then the lash out happens, and I think that's going to be good. And then I will be stuck when I take on too much. I will be stuck. I think we're going to throw in the harmony. Yeah, that's going to sound nice if I do that. So let's do it. And, oh, but let's not record over the lead vocal. That would be bad. And then I will be stuck when I take on too much. Then it feels earned. It feels earned at that point, especially when the lyric is talking about take on too much, and then explosion in the chorus. Helps the narrative a lot, I think. And I still don't even fully know what the narrative is. Like, what am I taking on? Like, everything. And I definitely am going to change the lyrics up for the second pre-chorus, and it's going to be a very similar vibe. I like it. I like it. It's kind of silly, but I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to work, especially because again, the narrative of this is going to be. Oh my, for heaven's sake. This was a big mistake. I like that. And then, right after. Oh my, for heaven's sake. This was a big mistake. Yep. Yeah, that works really well. I want that to really stand out better than it's standing out right now, though. That solo needs to come up. Ooh, I may actually end up adding like an echo thing to it, and there's a specific plugin I've got, Quick Muse, where it can be set it and forget it. I hit A button, and here we go. I hit A button. What does it sound like? I don't know. What does it sound like? I don't know. Let's find out when I solo it by itself here on the solo. Does it sound good? That's pretty wild. I like it. I technically could export a clean track for it. It does sound like a gong. I like it. I agree, Tiston. It's totally overboard in the best way possible. I agree. Quick Muse is one of my favorite things for that, where it's just literally it's meant to be random. Hit the random button. Boom. Does it sound cool? No. Hit it again. Random button. Does it sound cool? Yes, it does. Cool. Keep it. That's one of my favorite things, is any sort of a plugin like that, where it's just let it roll, and you can make adjustments if you want to, but it's just random. Yeah, go with it. In the moment, that sounded good. It just so happened to be the first option, and I'm sticking with it. I like it. I like it a lot. So, my understanding was that was what they had in mind with that specific plugin with Quick Muse, is it was meant to be, yeah, dude, don't fiddle with all of this stuff. Just boom. That's the mastering software I use. This is the same thing. Lursen Mastering Console. It gets it close enough. If I had a big budget and I did one really good album in a fancy studio, and it was like at least $6,000. And the fact is, I cannot do that in a fancy studio every time that I want to release an album. And it was the album Guided by Voices B1000 that reminded me what people can end up loving an album despite the fact that it sounds like it was recorded in someone's garage, and partially because it sounds like it was recorded in someone's garage. And with that in mind, it was like, so I could just do the best of that I'm able to do and roll with it. Cool. Now I'm not concerned anymore. I'm just going to do this. And I've released like 20 albums since then. if there's ever enough interest in it to go back and remix and remaster, I can and will do that. It may happen after I'm dead. I'm okay with that. I'm building a collection in the meantime. I'm building a library of songs in the meantime. All right, so now, thus far, now we're getting into difficult territory because I'm really liking the song and I don't want to tank it with terrible verses. And where are we at? Oh, we're not even 2 hours in yet. Hour and 53. All I got to do is write 2 verses and we're home free. All right, we can do this. I may need to drop the guitar just a little, as much as I don't want to. That first one. That's not bad. Ooh, I like that. I like going a little more weird on the melody here. Just slightly weird in comparison. That's good. Okay. Just 2 verses away. 2 verses away from a completed song. Got it. First verse. Okay. I like the. Now I just gotta figure out what I want to do with the melody. Okay, yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna go with it. rough idea of it anyway. Here we go. My past is littered with some bad decisions, a voice with bad advice, and at times... Okay, I got the right idea. Just gotta sing it right. My past is littered with... Yeah. My past is littered with some bad decisions, a voice with bad advice, and at times I listen. I want to go up there. My past is littered with some poor decisions, a voice with bad advice, and at times I listen. There it is. That felt right. I like that a lot. And against all odds, I'm connecting the narrative. The narrative's actually connecting. That's good. That's what we want. All right, one verse away from completion. We are looking at 2 hours, almost on the dot. 2 hours and like 30 seconds or something. We're gonna knock this out in the next 5-10 minutes. So much, Distant. Right now, I'm saying hands down, this is my favorite one this month thus far. Again, I just got to keep this going for one more verse, not ruin this last verse, and then I'd say hands down, this is my favorite one I've done this month. So, like, this is the first one I'm like, okay, I could see putting this out, like, mixing it maybe, like, a little bit better and putting this one out on an album. Yeah, this is decent. I love that. A voice with bad advice, and at times I listen, and then, like, I wrote the pre-chorus after that, but it's, and then I will be stuck, then I take on too much. It's after the bad advice. So, like, that tied right in, and man, I could not be happier that tied in the way that it did. I got it. That's the last line I think that I need for the song. So let's sing it. Let's play the sing it right though. You, that's the note. You'd think, nope. You'd think that I would learn when I've been defeated. It's inevitable that I will repeat it. There it is. And now I just gotta, I think I am gonna harmonize with that one. You'd think that I would learn when I've been... Oh, this is gonna be an interesting harmony, isn't it? You'd think that I would learn when I've been defeated. It's inevitable that I will repeat it. I think I may throw in the third, like the third vocal here, but just for keywords, the defeated. That's gonna sound good if I do it. So let's do that, and yeah. Been defeated. Well, repeat it. I think that might be better. Might be better. Repeat it. Repeat it. I think it is better. I was thinking, but I don't think that would go. Actually, I do like that better. Let's go with the high. Repeat it. Okay, and that should be the last thing I need to sing. In theory. Bet will. It helps to sing the right lyric. Well, repeat it. Yeah, that's not bad. I think that is the song, folks. All right, let's go ahead and save it. Let's mix it down. We're going to master it, call it good, and I'll be out of here in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. Not too shabby for what I would say is by far and away my favorite song this month thus far. Like, I was genuinely kind of concerned, like, I may do this and not feel like I have any songs that I want to release on an album. This is the first one where I'm like, oh, okay. I think this one I could see putting on an album, so that's a good sign. So let's do that. And amplitude. I always try to go to the wrong one when I'm doing it this way. I don't know why. No, fade out. Yeah, that's this one feels right. This one feels right, and that's what we want. All right, 08. It's the longest song title, of course, which means I'm gonna have to, when I'm submitting it to all of if I put this on streaming, I'm gonna curse myself on that day when I'm having to type it in over and over. All right. Now we're gonna pull up mastering console. All right, let's not have that on here. And let's go with recent Glad Studio. It's in the wrong folder once again because it just does not seem to ever work out in that regard. But there it is, 2026, and sometime there is the file, and here we go. We're going to master it with the mastering one touch, Lursen. I cannot speak. Lursen mastering console. Here we go. Yeah, that's a winner. That's a winner. That is probably my favorite song this month that I've written. I like it. Cool. 8 down. The rest of the month to go. 20. I can't math. What, 23 more? 23 more to write. But that's the first one where I actually feel pretty confident that it's a keeper and it's probably going to go on an album. That's cool. All right. Bye, TikTok. TikTok was not terrible tonight. Dude, I have rewards? I made 7 cents on TikTok. Well, the night that I almost don't even bother going on TikTok, I made 7 cents. Woot! I'll show. From a creator standpoint, you get this little song. I made 7 cents. All right, fine. New unique followers plus 1%. Live duration 38%. Like, it's giving me now. Yeah, dude, 7 cents, 470 cents. You realize, you of all people realize how I price my albums on Bandcamp. I imagine we've discussed that. In fact, actually, it doesn't show up that way on yours because it's Canadian or whatever, but it's $4.73. I charge $4.73 for my albums on Bandcamp. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to show my wife that, and I proudly made 7 cents. Woo! Rewards. All right, we out. Twitch and see you YouTube. Thank you.